Welcome everyone to the Consistently OK podcast. My name's Luke and I'm here as always with Nick.
Buongiorno.
And we're presenting you with a podcast centered around pop culture that we do our very best to make consistently okay for you. Each month we give you one episode where we talk about all things pop culture related and break down our thoughts and more on it. Our second monthly episode will be our in-depth series, and this season we're focusing on Batman, from films to animation, where we'll take you on a journey through the highs and lows, ins and outs of representation of Batman throughout the years. This week's sponsor comes from a Kickstarter project titled Blood and Fire Chapter 1, A Samurai Tale. It's a tale of revenge, written by Aaron Rorowski, with art by Ezekiel and letters by SK. It's for fans of samurai stories. If you like Seven Samurai, Ronin, sword-wielding action, love, betrayal and blood, this is for you. Head to the link in our description to back Blood and Fire Chapter 1. Alright then Nick, we are on our episode where we talk about all things pop culture.
Yes.
It's lots to cover. It's been a bit of a break since we did one of these now, so we're going to go a bit back in time. I think we should start with DC Fandom, if you're up for that.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Gosh, been a
Lots
while.
happened.
Yes.
I know we spoke a little bit about, probably maybe too much about the Batman on our Batman Begins podcast, which is an in-depth episode. If those who didn't catch it didn't listen, then you can.
It's there. Yeah.
It's out there in the world.
Yeah.
It's Batman Begins / the Batman trailer, basically. Yeah. Somehow. So DC Fandom. It was... There was a lot going on. There was a lot to unpack.
There was a lot, but I was disappointed.
I don't think it was as good as last year's.
No, it just didn't pack a punch, I didn't think.
I wonder if it's because last year's was so new and exciting the way they did it, that this one was kind of like, yeah, okay, we know what we're going to get expect. It's going to be lots of interviews and trailers, but last year's was sort of, oh my God, like what's going to happen next? But you knew you were going to get some pretty big reveals, I guess. Well, I guess there weren't many big reveals, but you just got some big trailers, didn't you? It wasn't anything like mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, last year was what? First trailer for the Batman.
Yep.
Zack Snyder's
Well, you
Justice
got the
League.
Yeah, so you got that, but you got trailer for the Batman. You got both the same games, but you just got. So obviously, last year we had gameplay footage of Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
This year we had a story trailer, and then we got a story trailer for the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, and then we got another trailer with no gameplay, just frustrating. So it kind of just felt like lots of things just carried on where they left off last year. Other than the first thing they showed, which was Black Adam, which was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that looked incredible. Like, I went into this thinking, wasn't sure how I'd feel about Black Adam. Like, I love Shazam. Thought Shazam was great. And
Shazam?
I wasn't Shazam. Isn't that a joke from Bo Selector? Was it Craig David that used to do like Shazam? Was it? I don't know.
He did, yeah, I think so.
Or David Blaine. It was David Blaine, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, it was David Blaine.
Yeah. And he had like an eye on his hand, and you're like Shazam.
Would you have ever thought we would have brought Bo Selector up in one of our podcasts?
That's pretty niche.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, I went into it thinking, my worry with Black Adam, like I love all the cast, but my worry is that The Rock would just be The Rock.
How dare he?
I know, because like I love him in Ballers. Like in Ballers, I think he's playing a character, but in a lot of
Ballers, he's playing Dwayne.
Yeah,
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, he's not playing The Rock.
He's not playing The Rock. Yeah,
he's the businessman Dwayne. But I think he's great in that. Like I really love Ballers. I thought it was an awesome show, and there's just been a lot of other things like Jumanji where it's just like that is just The Rock. It's not necessarily a character. It's just the persona. And so I was worried with Black Adam that it would be the same. But I've really appreciated the fact that they went in hard with it. That they were like, he's not fucking around.
I mean, he can't in this film. He can't be doing his sort of some of his stick, like raising his eyebrow and stuff like that. Has he? If he's going to play I don't think he's really played a villain before, has he? Not that I can think of, anyway.
Played the Scorpion King.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
No
one remembers the Scorpion King.
Bad CG. Although the film was
CG.
Good. But like the actual Scorpion King film was pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if he has played a villain. He must have.
So I mean, so
But
at this point, if let's say if he has, then it's like not
as
that.
yeah, he's more the hero, isn't he?
He's more the hero, isn't he? Or he's doing his comedy stuff, or he's a hero that always does a little bit of a rock bottom in something, or
Aim for the bushes.
the move, not his bottom. And yeah. So this role has to embody what Black Adam is, isn't it? And it looked like he was, going to kill everyone basically.
Yeah,
which is cool. And the suit looks like it's going to be awesome as well. So
very cool. I loved the fact that he just obliterated the dude. Like,
yeah, it was cool.
I was really in for that. I was like, fair play, you're going in dark.
I think Black Adam and Shazam are going to really play off each other really well as well when they actually come head to head.
Yeah. I saw a lot of chatter where people were like, I don't understand how you're going to get Black Adam, which looks really visceral, smashed together with the world of Shazam, which is like really kind of like fun. But I think that's kind of the point. I think it's like Shazam's world will be burst a little bit by the kind of the darkness and the bitterness of Black Adam. I think that's the contrast. I think you get nice. It is the yin and the yang, and I think that'll be cool.
I agree. I think the contrast is good, but I guess Shazam 2 could really lean into it a little bit towards the end part of it as well. Like if Black Adam is out before Shazam 2.
Yep.
So if we have that Black Adam and then something at the end of Shazam leads into Black Adam, then you'd hope that that it would go down that path. I actually saw, who's the guy who plays Shazam? What's his name?
Zachary Levi.
Yeah. He was in, my wife and I have been watching a show called Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh my God, I love it. Like,
yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It's insane. It's one of those shows I keep telling people to watch and nobody's like checked it out. I didn't think we were ever going to talk about that on the podcast, but my wife wanted to try it. She got recommended it. We started watching. I thought, okay, I'm sort of getting into it. And then the more I got into it, and then he showed up. Yeah. Great character as well.
Then you find yourself talking. I was talking to Yannicka, my wife, and I said, I wonder what's going to happen with her and Shazam, because I couldn't remember the actor's name, so I was just calling him Shazam.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. I mean, we're going off the topic here, but yes, Marvelous Miss Maisel is a very good show.
It's
Maisel.
So good. Yeah, big fan of that. But yeah, I think it's going to work well, and that trailer definitely excited me. I was like, this looks cool, and I really like the cast. I think Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate is a cool choice. I quite like that.
Yeah, because you haven't seen much of, I mean, obviously you know the cast, but the trailer was only short, wasn't it? But it was definitely enough to get me on board with it. Just quite, I mean, I like a lot of the DC films. I'm fond of some of them, but there's obviously I have that bit of me that thinks, oh, they've gone really off the rails. So I'm hoping between that and I guess Flashpoint, or the Flash film, which we might as well talk about next. Mm-hmm. I really think they can change it all. Like if the Flashpoint storyline can make everything sort of connect again, or make a multiverse that works, so it all comes together. It'd be really good.
The Flash didn't sell me as much as I thought.
No, it didn't do it. It didn't sell it for me either. I wasn't blown away, but the idea that it could fix a lot of a mess that is the DC film universe, at least I hope that it brings, or it makes everything kind of make sense. Like there's a bit of closure about the Ben Affleck Batman stuff and that sort of thing. But yeah, it didn't.
Although saying
really sell me on it.
To add to the confusion of things, because everybody's going into the Flash thinking that Ben Affleck, his Batman, will die. Like he will sort of be like the Thomas Wayne, who's like his universe just collapses and he dies, or something like that. Whether they just kill him off directly or whatever. How then? Because I know there's rumors that they're going to bring Keaton in, and Keaton will be the Batman of the DC universe.
Yeah, he's going to be like the Nick Fury, isn't he?
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I don't, story-wise, get why the fuck Keaton's Batman would give a shit about mentoring Batgirl. Like the directors of Batgirl were like, the real Batman is in our film, but they've got J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So going off of that, if you have Keaton's Batman, first of all, he's the same age as Gordon, if not older. which is weird. Secondly, you'd pull in somebody from a different universe and then go, I'll mentor Batgirl, but I don't know her from this universe. That to me doesn't gel. And then thirdly, what do you do about Alfred? Because you can't have Jeremy Irons, because he's easily the same age as Keaton, which is also fucking weird.
Yeah, you bring in Andy Serkis, don't you?
Yeah, just to confuse things even more. Like
all I'm getting from this is that you're turning into an MCU fanboy.
Yes.
And you're going to leave all your DC nonsense behind. And you're going to join the light side of the Force.
Thor: The Dark World is the best superhero film ever.
There we go. Now you're with us.
I'm on it.
I don't know. I think it's a bit of a mess. I think I don't know. It's a bit odd, isn't it? But I think I've said this in multiple podcasts. I really hope that someone has a plan, so all will make sense, and that's what I hope this Flash film will do. But it definitely didn't sound. Didn't sound like that there were two Flashes, although I guess
I don't like the idea.
It was going to make sense.
I don't like.
I think the only bit that I really liked was when he pulled off the sheet, and obviously it's hopefully going to be the Batmobile from Batman '89 or Batman Returns. But
yeah,
didn't wow me.
I also didn't like I don't mind the body of the suit. I fucking hate the helmet, which looks like Nick Cage's from Kick-Ass. Like if you look, it's got like a weird side mouth thing, and if you look at side by side of what's his name in Kick-Ass? Completely forgotten.
Person who plays him.
The character. So it's Nick Cage.
Should we just call him Shazam?
Yes, Shazam. It's like Big Daddy or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Big Daddy.
Yeah. So you've got, if you look at his mask and then look at Flash's, they've got the exact same like cowl, and it looks really fucking weird. So I wasn't a massive fan of that. I don't like the rumor that the other Flash is actually like their spin on the Reverse Flash, and that it's like Barry faces himself, and that's like the fact that the character's like gonna be evil, and the connotations that he's a Reverse Flash is because he's got like yellow on him. And
wasn't it supposed to be that he's the Flash of the
Keaton's world,
Tim Burton Batman world? So it's the same person, but that's why he's got a bat suit. Like Keaton's training him and Supergirl, I guess, or they're a unit or something. They're like a Justice League type thing, and then obviously this other Flash turns up, and I don't know. It's all a bit of a mess. I guess you need to see a bit more about it, don't you? You need to see.
Yes, I wasn't sold, and the Batgirl stuff announcing at the same time made things murkier, because to me that makes so much sense just to put Affleck in Batgirl, because it's like you've got his Gordon. I could imagine him like considering Batgirl was going to be in his film.
Yeah, you
know that relationship, that there is somewhere that there is a dynamic that can work between his Bruce and Batgirl. There is something there. I just think if you're pulling Keaton in, the writing and the story around him has to be absolutely pitch perfect as to why he would be willing to leave his universe to come and train another Batgirl and live in someone else's Gotham. Like, it has to be momentous for him to do that.
Yeah, I think we just probably need to see a little bit more. I feel like the difference between this sort of trailer, which is also trying to pull different characters in different universes, and something like the Spider-Man trailer has been a little bit smarter. I don't know if you've seen the Spider-Man trailer, haven't you?
Yeah,
because they've given us quite a bit. They've obviously shown us Doc Ock and stuff, so you kind of get the gist. It's a multiverse thing, but this, so there's stuff going on in a multiverse, but it doesn't. You can't really piece anything together from the trailer. It's all just guesswork, which is probably more frustrating because no one has a clue. I think that's probably why I didn't come off as being like, oh my God, because it wasn't like, you're going to come over to our universe. Obviously, you probably would say Michael Keaton, Bruce, and like, this is going to happen. And who's this motherfucker? And it was was just a bit too short. I don't think the trailer was put together brilliantly. I just think it was just it looked like a scene. There was like the bit when he goes to see his mum, and then there was obviously the everything around the Batcave, but there was just not enough. It was obviously what they polished off just in time for Fandom.
I'm going into it saying that they've thrown a red herring out into the world, and everybody's thinking that Keaton is going to be in more. I'm thinking they kill Keaton.
Oh, maybe.
Because, like, I just can't get my head around a Bruce Wayne who is willing to leave behind his universe to join another one, unless they go for the idea that his universe ends and he's then forced into this universe. But equally, I think Bruce Wayne would then be fucking bitter. I don't think he would be like...
Well, he is, isn't he? He's bitter in Flashpoint, isn't he?
But I think he would be... I think that would
Wayne.
be like the darkest Batman ever. If he was like, my world got fucking ruined because Flash fucked shit, and now I've got to look after this.
Why is Flash always fucking things?
Yeah, and now I've got to look after Batgirl, who I don't know. Why do I care? My universe is gone. It just...
I think the two things here is that if Keaton's Batman does have a significant role in, if his suit moves fluidly, like if it's you know, all updated, if he's not as stiff as he was in the Batman films, then the whole film's shit.
Yeah, continuity. If
also,
Gotham
I think
isn't wobbling.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're all just longing to go back in time where we all just wanted the Snyder cut, like simpler times.
Yeah,
that's all we wanted as fans, and we've got it now. And now we're just all going crazy. Nothing is right anymore.
No.
Speaking of Gotham, though,
yes,
Gotham Knights had a very, very good story trailer.
Was very good. I just wanted gameplay.
Yeah, but we had gameplay last year, didn't we?
We did have gameplay last year. I just, because that gameplay didn't like sell me. It looked a little like...
Had Mr. Freeze in it, mate.
It did have Freeze in it, which was great. But I just want to see more of how it works, I think.
Yes, I think that was... We could talk about both games, I guess, side by side, because with both of them, I think the story trailer is really good. But what I wanted when the story trailer happened, I wanted them to be like, and here's a bit of gameplay. And with Suicide Kills the Justice League, it's like, okay, here's the story trailer, which is great because it's the second kind of one we'd had now. But show me some gameplay, because so both games have 4 characters in. Obviously, Gotham Knights is you can use all 4 and everything like that. And I assume that's the same with the Suicide Squad game, but it's not really showing us much about how it's going to go. Like, you get the impression that Suicide Squad should have a lot of the same mechanics as the Arkham games. Yeah, but I've no idea. Like,
yeah, I felt like out of the 2, the Suicide Squad game disappointed me more, just because I needed, like, having had a story trailer before with no gameplay, I need to see the game now.
It worries me a little bit.
Yeah.
But then again, I was worried about Guardians of the Galaxy. Apparently, it's fucking brilliant.
Who fucking knew? Like, obviously, I still haven't played it, but like, review-wise, everyone was like, "This is cracking."
Yeah, I was texting my friend Sean. I was like, "What do you think about this?" Getting good reviews. I was like, "Yeah, I didn't have like much of a buzz basically, and here we are." It's just like, all right, excellent, which is great, isn't it? I wish now I just thought I'm just going to get it. I just played it. I didn't know about the reviews, but I just thought it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, so it was literally like announced this year, came out this year, which to me suggested like not good.
And like hardly any glitches either. And that's the thing with these other 2 games. It's like it's taking them ages. Yeah. It's just taking them so long to just give us anything. And now Gotham Knights is out next year. Are they both out next year? 2022? Yeah.
No, they were a year apart.
Oh, so yeah, Suicide Squad's not out until 2023.
Has one of them been delayed again?
I don't know. Flash has ruined everything.
Yeah, he's fucked it, hasn't he?
He's done it.
Yeah, but I can't remember. Yeah.
Both. I really like the Court of Owls stuff for the Gotham Knights trailer is really good.
Nice that Snyder was there.
Nice that he's involved as well, which is really good. I thought it looked really cool, just with Talon and everything, and like Red Hood when he's in the cage and he gets dropped and everything. So I thought that looked awesome. And I mean, what there was of the Suicide Squad seemed great as well. The whole thing feels like it's going to be a good story. I wouldn't ever doubt Rocksteady to not release a good game after the Arkham ones, but I just want to see some gameplay.
Yep, they are both out next year, both 2022.
Okay. That's a big year for games.
Maybe that was it. Maybe, yeah, that was it. Because last year we said Gotham Knights was meant to come out this year.
Oh yeah, that is right. So that got delayed to next year, and Suicide Squad's always been out. But then that means you got to see some gameplay soon. But then I don't know, like I said, with Guardians of the Galaxy, just out of nowhere, and it's been a success. So,
but you think they can't
like 9
launch,
out of 10?
They can't launch both tail end of next year. Like, there's no way they'll compete them.
No, I would think Gotham Knights is going to get sort of it must be like an April, May release maybe, and then Suicide Squad will be out towards the end of the year, if not delayed again.
Yeah, very bizarre. That was kind of the thing that I think made me think that they delayed it. That I was like, oh, you haven't shown gameplay from either, and what, like, both of them being out next year to me was just a bit like, maybe not.
They delayed the other Marvel game, didn't they, as well? Speaking of Marvel now, with the Midnight Suns game, which I thought looked really good.
However, they also announced, did you see that they announced there's another Marvel game in the works?
Yes, the one, Skybound, which is pretty cool.
One of the writers that I think is utterly incredible, a guy called Mark Bernardin, is working on it. I was like, that is super exciting, and it's with Amy Hennig, who did Uncharted, which is also like,
it's old.
Yeah, just on it straight away. Cool.
Shame that Avengers didn't work out, isn't it? Because they released a statement, didn't they, saying that it was went below expectations. They've got the Spider-Man bit coming out soon as well, but just I still haven't gone through the whole game yet. But it's just a shame because I remember when that was teased ages ago, and I just thought it's going to be good. It just didn't quite work out, and I actually thought that's what Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be like.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to play the same way, but all I keep hearing about how the what's it called? What's the word called? The controls, I guess.
Yeah,
just works so well. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Very curious, and I still need to play Avengers, but just again because
everybody story is good. It's just everything that comes after it. It's just a bit like it's called grinding, isn't it? But it just is a bit of a grind.
Yeah,
a bit too much repeated. But I haven't played the Black Panther expansion yet, which is supposed to be good.
Okay,
so one day we'll get a bit more attention from me. Anything else with DC Fandom that we were supposed to talk about? Shazam, Black Adam, Flash, games.
Shazam looked cool as well, actually. Just going off.
Shazam did look cool, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's like just a behind the scenes sort of thing, but cool cast.
A bit weird. Yeah. Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu just seems a bit weird, though, doesn't it? That's an odd combo.
Yeah, I'm in for it though. Like, I'm sure it'll work. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I thought that looked cool. Obviously, the Batman looked amazing.
The Batman, Batman looks good. I think that's.
Huge.
I really, really hope it's good. But someone was saying that the latest release was sort of that Batman and Riddler are just as bad as each other. Not obviously Riddler's killing people, but Batman's psyche is just as fucked, basically.
I quite like that.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be really good.
I said to our friend Harry the other day, actually, when they released that synopsis, because the synopsis sounded really fucking dark.
Yeah.
And I said to Harry, I think they're trying to get ahead of it, because I did see a bit of chatter online after that trailer came out that they were like, this looks like the darkest Batman ever. And there was a bit of like, can we not just have a Batman who's hopeful? Which I was like, I don't want. I like the Batman who's fucking going out to basically get the shit kicked into him, and in the process kick the shit out of people.
There aren't that many comics where he's like a happy-go-lucky, lucky guy, is it? It's not what Batman's about. So
and
get it better, I think.
Yeah, I like that they've kind of gone the route of he's a little bit deranged.
Yes.
Like, let's see what that's like. I reckon as well, I saw a rumor online about the fact that at some point in this film, he realizes that like he's going to have to take on a shit ton of people, and in doing so is taking like adrenaline shots to like amp himself up to basically beat the crap out of people. I was like, give me it. That would be incredible. Like unhinged.
I hope the studio don't like mess it up just before it's supposed to be out or something, because that'd be just the worst to hear. Like, oh, there was an original film, but we changed our mind last minute. They have to go for it, don't they? Yeah. I hope something like Christopher Nolan's Batman films can be the
thing.
Oh, this worked, and this was this, so let's try this. So, especially if they're going to go with a different universe, because then there's no reason not to, is there?
Yeah, I just hope it comes out and it doesn't get the usual "it's too dark" response, and then they try and change 2 and 3. Like if they've got a trilogy planned, they don't.
You just have to. I think you just got to ignore the critics, haven't you? We were talking before we started recording about Eternals, and just that. Neither of us at time of recording, neither of us seen the Eternals yet, but I think you just got to make your own judgment call on these things, haven't you? Because I've watched films that have been absolutely panned by critics, and I've actually really liked it, and I've seen films that have been loved, and all my friends have loved it, and I thought, no, that was just absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
But I think with these things, you have to go with you just have to go and see it, don't you, for yourself? Because the studios have to realize it as well. Just because critics. You look at Eternals now, it's something like 43 on critics, but like 80 something on audience.
Yeah.
And the audience is the thing you really want to, that's the core, that's the target audience. I know it's not how it works. I'm not an idiot, but that's where you should be thinking, hey, we've made our money back plus some. The audience has loved it. We're going to go for it.
Yeah.
That's what you'd hope for anyway, but I don't think it's that easy. So you're right. I really hope it doesn't get it's far too dark, and then the studio's like, right, we'll pull the plug on that, and we'll get another Batman in.
Yeah.
So
difficult.
The trailer was great though. Jesus Christ.
So good.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
I think I've watched it so many times.
The thing is as well is like they're like heavily invested in that world, because there's supposedly a Penguin HBO Max series who also looks fucking amazing in it. Surely that wins Oscar for best costume design, like hair and makeup, because it isn't Colin Farrell. And you've got the Gotham PD show coming as well on HBO Max. Both of those in the same.
Yeah, they go for it, aren't they?
So
they really are going for it.
I think they've invested in that world. And I just hope the film doesn't come out and people are like, oh, it's too dark. It's like, just no.
I think I generally think people are going to like lap it up. I think they're going to be like, this is so much what we wanted, because there's going to be a lot of critics out there. Because that's the other thing about reviews as well. These critics get set up to watch these films, don't they, review them, and they're trying to be, some of them have never seen a DC film before, or they don't care for it at all, so they have to review them. It's no different to like a MCU fan who's a top critic reviewing a film that would be way out of there, like a musical or something that might be out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
But I just cannot see it. I can't see this not doing well.
Yeah. Speaking of that as well, because it's the same team, or partly the same team, we got more information on Batman Caped Crusader.
We did,
which was sort of like the sleeper, like, oh, I'm just really excited for that, because I just think it looks cool, and it's nice to have kind of that style of Batman back. Again, that sounds quite dark.
It does sound dark. There's a lot going out, because that's our next. Is that just out?
I think it's
just after.
Year. Yeah,
I think it's out after the Batman, isn't it?
Yeah. And
it's going to be mental. There's so much coming out next year. So I think we say it every year, but there's so much. I just keep thinking about things like The Last of Us as well. I know that's not DC, but still.
Is that definitely next year? They said.
I'm pretty sure, isn't it? The tail end of next year.
Must be.
I think they've already done. I saw Neil Druckmann say that he had finished his stint on it.
Yeah.
What do you reckon with it?
What episode do you reckon he gets? What part of the story do you reckon he went for?
I think he'll be early on.
Okay.
I feel like he'll be something to do with the original when it breaks, when everything starts going wrong. I think he'll be, I don't know, because he's not got a big role, has he? Isn't he just doing a cameo?
He directed an episode.
Oh, he directed it. I thought he had a cameo as well. I thought that's what you were talking about.
I think he wrote. I don't know if he's written the episode he's directed, or what, but I know he was writing it, and he's directed an episode.
I mean, then he's going to have, if he's directing an episode, then he's going to have the first or last episode, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I wondered if he would do the sequence with Ellie towards the end of the first game where Joel's injured, and it's sort of
Maybe.
like very centered on Ellie kind of like looking after herself and trying to save Joel, because that's quite like personal and quite like there's a lot of development for Ellie as a character there,
And
in terms of
maybe
who to trust and whatnot. And I wondered if that was kind of the area.
it would be good if it would be good if he had an episode that's somewhere in the middle, wouldn't it, or around that time? But I can't imagine. I can't see how he doesn't do the first or the last episode.
Yeah,
but then again, he's new to TV directing, isn't he? So
yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't do the first, because I think the first was directed by Craig Zobel. I think that's his name. The guy who did Chernobyl.
Yeah, Chernobyl. I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, I think he did the first.
I did read somewhere that he had a cameo though. So because in the game he's always got like something. It's like a card in the second game, and there's something in the first game as well.
Doctor.
But I swear someone told me that he had a cameo, or I read somewhere he had a cameo, and I just in my head I was like, he'll be like a military person that says like, it's like trying to find Joel or something. But
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it does as well. But yeah,
I think it'll be out next year, because they might do it like a few episodes and then have a break, mightn't they? That's what they typically do these days. Yeah. What else has gone on in the world, Nick? There was Guardians of the Galaxy casting. Oh, what were we talking? Yeah, we haven't missed anything. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy casting. So they cast Adam Warlock.
Yes, curious.
With Will Poulter, which is a really weird casting, but the more I think about it, the more I like it. And I saw a photo today of the cast.
Yeah, they started filming today, didn't they?
Like a Polaroid today, and I was like, oh, because I just think about him from We Are the Millers.
Yeah,
where he has like I swear to God, he gets like his testicle stung or something. And just how goofy he is in that. So it's hard to see him anything other than that in my head. But I know he's been in loads of other things since.
Yeah, I always think of him from Black Mirror.
Yeah. Like thinking of him as like this almost glowing god type character.
Yeah, unusual.
Like ripped. Like it just doesn't seem. But then again, I mean, you look at the guy from Silicon Valley who's in Eternals. What's his name?
Kamal.
Yeah. You look at him, Jesus Christ, he's just absolutely stacked now, because
ridiculously stacked.
He did like the Marvel training. So
yeah,
anyone gets stacked if you're in a Marvel film. Yeah, I mean, anyone gets stacked if they want to, but these guys are like, you're going to be topless in this film, so it's up to you how you want to look.
Paid and trained
on
it.
So yeah, but that should be good. I'm quite excited. I'm quite excited about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 just because of how much fun James Gunn said the Suicide Squad was. And I imagine feeling like if you're the Guardians of the Galaxy team, you'd be like, what do you mean that was the most fun you've ever had?
Yeah.
Like, we had a great time. Like all your best buddies were in this film. But then he's like, Suicide Squad was the best, this blah, blah, blah. And most fun. So it's going to...
I wondered if part of that was because like the Suicide Squad, he was quite free to do what, like, because it was R-rated, he could just go as like ridiculous.
I would think so. I think he probably had a time of his life doing that sort of stuff, because that's his main thing, isn't it? Like the R-rated stuff, he likes that, like the violence,
just goes nuts.
like that. So, but
yeah, I'm curious about Guardians 3. I'm not, because I didn't love 2. I'm not.
The formula has to change, doesn't it? Like there has to be, because we spoke about it when we spoke about the Suicide Squad. Like for me, Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad are very, very similar, other than the rating.
Yeah.
Like King Shark, Groot, limited dialogue, very limited dialogue. Team, like. So with this one, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy 1. So they really have to. I'm hoping that the inclusion of, because I think Chris Hemsworth's supposed to be in it still, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I know that they're in, like, the Guardians are in Thor.
Yeah, right. So maybe in Love and Thunder rather. So maybe he's not in it. But anyway, has to be a bit different. And I think as this is end of his trilogy, I think James Gunn will be on it again in a Marvel film, but I think he'll do one of the bigger ones. I think he'll be like, I don't know, he'll get given Avengers or something, or Secret Wars, or whatever they decide to do.
Yeah, I think if they ever do Secret Wars, I think that's going to what do you call it? The guys, the Russo brothers, because I think they've openly said they would return for Secret Wars. They were like, if you do that, we'll do it.
They'll do it. I just think James Gunn would be good for Secret Wars because of all the cosmic stuff as well. Because he's overseeing a lot of those projects, isn't he? The cosmic stuff.
Yeah, I think my only problem with him doing like Avengers would just be, I don't want Avengers to be a comedy.
No, I don't want it either. But I don't know.
I don't know if he can do, like, I'm sure he could do it, but I don't know if it's his style to just do like straight up epic
Comedy.
drama.
Sorry.
And yeah, I'm sure he could do it. I wouldn't want him on directing something that then doesn't feel like James Gunn. It just feels like he's emulated something else.
He might have a writing credit maybe if they do a big one, but I do think there's a bigger gig in the Marvel thing for him down the line. I don't know what it will be, but
he's got another DC project as well, hasn't he?
He does, yeah. I wonder what that'll be.
Yeah,
it doesn't look likely that they're going to do another Suicide Squad, though, do they? Not that I've seen anything about anyway.
It doesn't look like it.
It'd be pretty weird for him to do Guardians 2, the Suicide Squad, Guardians 3, the Suicide Squad 2, and then something else. So he's going to have to mix it up a little bit. So I think he's definitely found his area of expertise, because I think he's good. Even though Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was a bit hit or miss, I still think a lot of it was good. So what else? You've been watching Why the Last Man, but that's obviously been cancelled now.
Yeah, I'm really sad about that. I quite enjoy it. Like, I haven't watched it for a couple of weeks now. Like, I've got this thing where if I know that the show is cancelled, I struggle to watch it. Because
I'm the same. I normally just give up because I'm just
I'm like the ending will just annoy me, because I'll be like, that was really good. I know I'm not going to get another one. So I'm sort of waiting, because I know they've said they're shopping Why Last Man around, because I read that it didn't get cancelled because of ratings. It was cancelled basically because the options on the cast were coming up, and it had cost so much because it had been through loads of production issues, that basically to renew the options on the cast, it would have just cost them too much, and they were like, we just can't justify it. So, like, the thing is, the show is so topical because it's talking about it's a female-led show, besides Yorick, but there's so much talk of like trans and like really topical things, and they do it in such a beautiful way that you're just like, this show is so on the button that I don't see how another network doesn't pick it up. And at the moment, the rumor seems to be HBO Max, just because the book was Vertigo.
Yeah, it would be an easy fit, wouldn't it, to go there, wouldn't it? And they're trying to get more content.
So if it gets a second season, I'll continue. I think I got up to episode 6 or 7, and I was really enjoying it. I was like, this is cool. It's a little bit slow, but the world's interesting. The characters are good. The acting's really good. So I hope that it finds a home somewhere else, and that I can kind of finish it off and continue with it, because knowing where that story goes, I'm so curious how they've mapped it out and how they've adapted that.
I'm definitely going to, I'm still going to watch it, even because I do think it'll get picked up somewhere else from what everyone's saying, what you just said. I even just want to watch the first episode just to see what it's like, because I love the comic series so much.
So good. Yeah.
And Brian K. Vaughan was like, he was super happy with it, wasn't he? Which is, sometimes they come out and say, oh no, it wasn't, like with, what was it?
The Deadly Class? That got canned.
Deadly Class, but another one of his, Rick Remder's, no, is it Rick Remender? Who did the Last Days of American Crime?
Oh, I forgot about that. I made a film of it. Yeah, I think that was Remender, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I remember someone saying that he's like, it was trash. Like, he was like, yeah, like,
never watched the film.
I wish it was done differently. I haven't seen it either, but there's nothing of me wants to watch it either, because I think it just got bombed by everyone, not just critics, but everyone. So, what was the other thing I was going to say? Actually, we were talking about trailers earlier. Morbius.
Yes. What's the Morbius trailer like? Tell me, because I haven't seen it. I've been waiting.
So, it looks like Venom.
Okay.
You know that style? It's just dark, and it's very it doesn't feel like an MCU film.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like a DC film. It feels like a popcorn film.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks like it easily could just come and go, and it's going to get like 50-50 reviews. People are going to the critics aren't going to like it, but will have like a core audience that like it. Jared Leto looks cool. The Morbius bits look cool.
I saw one picture and I was like, props, because he looks like Morbius.
He does look like Morbius. If they do it right, so the angle of the trailer is, without spoiling it, is that he's a good guy, but when he's Morbius, he's coming off more of a villain, he's trying to do good things, but he's come off a villain because he likes blood.
Yeah.
But obviously they're trying to tease the Spider-Man universe stuff as well, and that obviously they look like they're trying to build some sort of Sinister Six, whether that comes out from all the multiverse stuff. But because I don't know if this is a spoiler, so I'm sorry if you don't know this. I'm going to say it now anyway, for the sake of the podcast. Michael Keaton's in the trailer.
Yes, I think I've seen the first Morbius trailer, and he was in that.
Yeah, so it's the sort of same bit, but he just basically is like, he's like, Dr. Morbius, you and I, we should be friends, like blah blah blah. It's kind of like, oh, okay, it's Morbius, you got Vulture, and then obviously they've teased Scorpion and Spider-Man as well. So, obviously trying to build something towards that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just feels exactly the same way I did when I saw the first time I saw the Venom trailer, where it just feels like a Sony Marvel film. Just feels, it's almost like it's not at the same level as an MCU film. It's just like, it's like the sister company just doing their thing, and they've just taken a character, which makes me worry for like the Craven character and stuff. But has potential, Nick.
I've seen a lot.
And a good cast. It has a good cast.
I do like Leto, as people know.
I like Leto, and it has the Lee from Chernobyl in it, and what's his name? He's in Fringe. Jesus Christ. He's such a good actor. What is his name?
Harris.
Jared Harris, yes. He's in it. So it has a good cast. I mean, it's got that usual, but all superheroes do films, don't they? It's got the usual thing where, like, okay, he has to turn into Morbius, so you have to go. He's got his origin and stuff like that. But it just looks okay. There's just a few bits when he's doing some of his moves as Morbius that just looks very cheesy. I mean, I know none of it's real, but somehow for me, the MCU makes it look better, like a better kind of cheesy. And this just looks like, he's got like purple lights following him and stuff. I can't put my head on it. It sounds mental that I would back the MCU, but not this. But I feel like if MCU had Morbius, then it would be instantly just a bit better. But then I don't know.
The only thing I've seen about it, so like I saw the picture, and then I've seen tons of confusion as to what universe it's set in, because there's Vulture, which would suggest it's in the MCU. And then there's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man on the wall where it says murderer. Also confusing, because they claim that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the murderer. And then the Oscorp logo that is in the trailer is from The Amazing Spider-Man. Like, it's the same logo.
I wondered if like this would be a really far-fetched, but if sort of the universe was changing around him.
Okay.
Like he didn't notice like the subtle changes, but then again that would have big ramifications, so it probably would be more of the film than it would be. But
yeah. And then
again, all I can think is that I don't know what happens, but it's a bit weird, isn't it?
And then there's a Venom reference in it.
There is a Venom reference in it, yeah.
So it sort of takes place in like 4 worlds.
I mean, it could be that something happens at the end which puts him in a different place, or that they've just, when we actually see the film, they've actually replaced that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man painting with the Tom Holland one, because it could just be to get interest in it. There's loads of tricks, aren't there? Like,
I've seen a lot of people be like, I don't understand what they're doing. Like, that's so confusing.
That's the worry, isn't it? It's the worry that they don't know what they're doing. So,
and what's weirder as well is like Morbius was meant to come out ages ago. Like, it was meant to come out before No Way Home.
And that's coming after.
Yeah, and like I think before Loki as well. So like, multiverse wise, that wouldn't have been set up in the MCU.
No. Didn't they do reshoots though?
Probably. I mean, it's been a long time. I think they shot it in like early 2019.
I find that really weird as well, that these actors and actresses have to promote films. It's like seeing Daniel Craig do Bond promotion. It's like that was like 2 years ago for him. So everyone's like, "Oh, how was it with your last day?" He's like, "Well, since my last day, like I've killed a man in real life, and this happened."
Yeah.
So it was a bit weird.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I've really seen about it is just
watch the trailer, Nick. Just watch the trailer and then let me know what you think. The trailer is that I tell you what, the trailer isn't really any different to the first trailer.
Okay.
You just get a lot more of like, I like blood.
Cool.
No way, he doesn't say he likes blood like that. He's just like, I have to have blood. It's like,
do you know what
anyone.
I found out recently because I saw it on Instagram, which I didn't realize, and I've never thought about this, in the Spider-Man animated series, which I love.
Me too.
He doesn't drink blood. He has the like hand suckers which take away like plasma, and that's what he feeds on.
And he has a leather jacket.
Yeah, and it was done because it's a kid's show and they didn't want a vampire like feeding on blood, so they did it where he feeds on plasma. I never questioned that as a kid. I was like,
I'm not even gonna question it now.
Yeah, I was like, very cool.
The guy likes plasma.
Yeah,
done.
Which is why I'm like, if Morbius isn't R-rated, the film, they should have just gone with the plasma thing. Because, like,
I mean, to be fair, I rewatched all of the animated Spider-Man over the last like 2 months, and even when I saw that, I didn't think twice about it. I was like, "Yep,
yeah,
don't get those hands on you, Spidey."
Yeah, so if you're not gonna do blood sucking like R-rated Morbius, just give the 90s kids what they want and
plasma hands.
Go for the plasma hands, because that would still work. I'd be like, sure, I'm in.
I think it's PG, isn't it? They're saying, or
it'll be a PG-13 for sure. No way. I can't imagine I'd go R-rated with it. If Carnage, if Let There Be Carnage isn't R-rated,
but that's what Sony should have done, isn't it? Sony should have said, right,
yeah,
we want to be part of the MCU, but we want ours to be a little bit different. Then we will make Venom, Morbius, and Kraven R-rated, and it will be a bloodbath.
Yes.
And by the time they get to the MCU, there would have been an MCU Deadpool film or something, and we'll all be okay. But
speaking of retcon stuff, sorry to interrupt. You just reminded me. I saw a rumor the other day, and I've said this on this podcast before. So if Matt Murdock isn't in No Way Home,
we riot.
They've like fucked something seriously. Because as much as I want Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in it, I'd take Matt Murdock in it over that.
I think he's going to be in it because
it makes sense. Like they've set up the perfect stage.
He keeps saying like he can't really say this and he can't say that. It's like blah blah blah, but he'll be in it.
It's got to be in it. I read a rumor though that he's a variant of Matt Murdock.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So not necessarily everything that's happened to him has happened the same way that we've seen it in the show, which I was like, absolutely do not do that. That show is fucking incredible. And if you like suggest that anything of that is different, it just doesn't work. Just doesn't.
That'd be so WWE to me.
Yeah.
It's him be able to see when he works fine when he's blind.
Just
and a variant. No, I think he'll be in it. I think we'll get Matt Murdock as like being a lawyer. I do think that will happen, even if it's just some small capacity. And then I just think he'll turn up somewhere down the line. There'll be like the Avengers film or something, and he'll help them as Daredevil. I just think Daredevil is such a big character, in the Marvel stuff, that he's so important and he's so level-headed in pretty much all the things. Like, I mean, he still beats the shit into people and stuff, but he's just a big character, and that they need him. They need Punisher.
Yeah,
like they have to get names escape me again every podcast. What's his name? Punisher.
John Bernthal.
Yes, John Bernthal. They have to get him in again. I mean, that would be massive as well. Imagine you're in the MCU. Imagine if they do when Blade happens.
Has to be.
Imagine if Punisher just turns up. People are going to lose their absolute fucking marbles. It's going to be brilliant.
If that is a 12, though, I will lose a lot of faith in it. I don't know how you do Blade as a 12.
No,
like it
will be there, won't it?
Yeah.
Just brace yourself for that, Nick. Brace yourself.
I don't understand like how you can Like,
but you can't you? Because they'll just do. There won't be. There'll be like a bit of blood, but obviously the vampires will just turn into. It'll be like Buffy dust.
yeah,
They'll just turn into dust or whatever. So it's yeah. I don't know. I did hear a rumor. There's like we'll see something to do with Blade sooner rather than later. So I guess we'll know more soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
So yeah.
I've seen some things.
You've seen some things.
Talk about.
Okay.
So I saw Dune.
And that was good.
Twice now, and it is bloody incredible.
Ah.
Yeah, if you're like, just if you're into sci-fi, I think you'll love it. Visually, it is insane. Like, it's just so well shot, and I love the director Denis Villeneuve because Arrival is fucking stunning. Like, it looks great. The story's amazing. And I thought off of that, I was like, I don't know how he matches visually that again. Like, he just makes he makes aliens look real. And you're just like, fuck, okay. Blade Runner 2049, I also loved. I know you're not a massive fan. I bloody loved that. Thought it was amazing. And then when you get to Dune, you can kind of see this progression of like everything he's sort of done has built to him doing Dune. And yeah, it's just so well done. Like, it's just really, really smart. The storytelling's great. The acting's great. The score is insane. So loud.
I knew you'd love the score. Like, I've only had a little bit of it, but I was like, bet you've been listening to it.
I haven't listened to it. It's just because it's not a score I feel like I could listen to on its own. I feel like it just perfectly suits the film. Like, there's like a weird ominous undertone of the film. And
was it in IMAX?
Yeah, I saw it in IMAX. And then the second time I saw it, I just saw it in standard. And yeah, it's just such a brilliant film. I'm really glad it's got part 2 because I'd be pissed off. I think
everyone that I know has seen that has been like, if it doesn't get part 2, we're going to be really pissed off. But I think it's going to pass me by, unfortunately. I don't get that many chances to go to the local cinemaplex these days, so I think it's going to.
Is it not on HBO Max for you?
I don't know, actually. We do have HBO Max here now. It started last week.
Give it a look.
I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
I know we've got the Suicide Squad on there, and Godzilla versus Kong and stuff, so.
Have a little look, because it could be on there. Because it's on there in the States, so.
Interesting.
But yeah, really, really good.
Might be a bit delayed because it only came. I guess it's been in the cinema here for quite a while, actually. We got it earlier than you did in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Good. Yes.
Good. I'll update everyone listening to this podcast next time. Hold on to your seats. I'll let you know in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Who knows?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Tell us.
Anything else?
What else I watched? There was something else that I watched that I was going to talk about and I've forgotten now. Can't remember.
Next time we'll have a proper list.
Yeah. You've been watching Midnight Mass, though, haven't you?
I've been watching Midnight Mass, yeah. I've still got a few to go, but I think it started off stronger than it's got to in the middle, but I still like it. So
yeah.
Shit's going crazy at the moment.
I'm curious to know what you'll think when you finish it. Maybe we'll do a newsletter that will just talk about the last 2 episodes. But I was curious throughout. I think there's a lot of plot holes, like an obscene amount of plot holes where the story sort of just folds in on itself when you start thinking about them. And you're like, okay, this doesn't make sense.
I don't think.
Yeah, just accept it for what it is and you're fine. If you go into it trying to go, wait, what? It doesn't work.
Well, some weird stuff has started happening. We're starting to get the gist of it a little bit now that it's going to be a bit out there, what's going on. So I have no idea how it's going to end up, but I assume like the town is going to go, I don't know, up in a blaze. I don't know.
Yeah, I think definitely we do a newsletter when you've finished it, and we'll talk about the last couple of episodes. But it's annoying because the premise is really good. It's just there's certain aspects where I just felt like it really let itself down because it's not clear in what its intentions are. And that causes a lot of problems structural wise, I think, anyway. I think the casting's really good. Like the guy from Friday Night Lights who plays the kind of like lead son, he's really good.
Friday Night Lights, that's good, isn't it?
So good. Love Friday Night Lights. But yeah, I thought he was really good. I thought the guy that plays the priest is really good.
The detective's pretty good, isn't it? The guy who wants to be he's trying to land the role of Mr. Fantastic at the moment by teasing him.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's really cool, and I thought that works really well. It's just plot wise that I had issues with it, and also there's a couple of monologues which go on a little bit too long. Like a couple of places where I was like, you can do this quicker, and then other places where I think the monologues work really, really well, and I'm very engrossed in it. There's just a couple where I was like, we get it, but you keep talking. Just end it here. I think it's a million miles better than the Haunting of Bly Manor. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I fucking struggled with that.
I struggled with it as well, which made me, I wasn't so sure about this one, but again, it was like everyone was telling me it's really good, and I was seeing a lot of good vibes about it, so I thought I'd try it. But I think I've got to the point with it now where I could take it or leave it. Don't like, I've got no, let's put it like this. At the moment, it's just going to sound mental to geeky listeners. If you said you can carry on watching Midnight Mass or you can carry on watching The Marvelous Miss Maisel, I'd be like, give me some Marvelous.
I would blame you. Marvelous Miss Maisel is amazing. Although you're going to finish the third season, I think that's out, and then
we got like 4 episodes left, I think.
Yeah, so you're going to hit the end of that and then go, where's season 4? And then there's no news on season 4.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it? I was saying to Yannicka, is it done, or is it?
I'm pretty sure it's been renewed, so I'm pretty sure they're filming. I think it just got hit with COVID, but yeah, you will be like, where is it?
Okay.
Right. So
I know it's not. I know it's not probably like a popular topic to talk about on a podcast around pop culture, but there's a character in Marvelous Miss Maisel who's the dad who his name's Abe.
Yeah, awesome.
Guy, it's the best.
It's brilliant.
I think
Abe
he's
awesome.
the best. If I could be that old and grumpy and wise, I'd be really happy. Not now, when I'm older.
The writing on that show is
great writing.
Like
it's not actually fair to say like people wouldn't like it, because if you like good writing, you like good TV, then you'll like this show.
It's perfectly within the realm of like it's pop culture because it is just good TV. But I remember watching the first episode because I watched it just when the first season was on Amazon, just on like a whim. I was like, I'll try it, and I think at the end of the first episode is when she gets up and does her first stand-up.
Yeah,
and the monologue is just insane. It's like so well written. It's so funny, and it's just like, how do you do this? And then her acting is just beyond me. Like,
I think all the cast are good. That's the thing. All the cast are good, and her manager Susie, who's the one who does the voice for Lois Lane, Family Guy, what's her name? Is Alex Bernstein?
Yes,
I think so. She's great as well. She's as funny. She's probably the funniest thing in it, which is crazy. I really didn't think we'd talk about Marvel. I think it's the title. I think the title actually is what would put a lot of people off, because it's not, obviously that's the name of the character, but just I feel like if you called it something else, it would have hooked in a few more people. But it just sounds
in the context of the show, like it works so well.
Yeah, it does. Once you get into it works so well.
You're like, I get why it's called Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Yeah. I don't think I even saw a trailer for it. I think it was just like, you should watch this. My wife said we should try it, and I was like, all right, fine. And I mean, 9 times out of 10, when that happens, it's normally a bit of a sleeper hit for me. And it's like, I'm so glad we're watching it. So
yeah, it's
good stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, finish Midnight Mass, and then we'll do a newsletter where people can find out your thoughts on the last 2. But
I agree.
Yeah, it was an odd one for me. But yeah, Bly Manor as well. Sorry, I finished this tangent. So I loved Haunting of Hill House. Thought that was spellbindingly good, and then watched Bly Manor, and like I think it took me maybe like 4 or 5 months to finish it. It was just like, I don't care. Yeah, the last episode was quite good, but it's sort of because like everything happens in the last episode, and it's like it's just not well paced. So every week that we watched it, I was just like, no, and that went on for 4 months. So yeah. There you go.
It took us ages to watch as well. It just felt like it went on, but I don't know. I'm going to finish Midnight Mass. I will want to do the newsletter as well, but I could stop. I don't overly see what all the hype is for, but it's fine for what it is.
Also, I have remembered. I did remember the one thing I was going to talk to you about.
Oh,
to close this episode, did you see the trailer for Master Universe Part 2?
I did. This is a good thing to talk about. I didn't actually. We also forgot to talk about Boba Fett, which, let's just say, looks pretty damn cool.
Looks cool. However, I don't know what the story is.
Oh no, I have no idea.
Yeah,
no idea. Maybe Harry knows.
It's a really like soft trailer. I felt like the end of the trailer needed to be like, I wouldn't fuck with Boba Fett, but the trailer just sort of ends. I was like,
maybe we need to do a newsletter with Harry so Harry can explain it to us, because I assume he has all the answers.
Hopefully you can figure it out.
I did see the trailer, yes, for Master of the Universe Revelation, because if you listen to we did a whole podcast on this along with talking about Loki. Yes. And I have a guy that I work with, and he is a huge He-Man fan, and he hated Masters of the Universe Revelations because it was all about Teela, and he felt betrayed by Kevin Smith and everything, which I understand. I see both sides of the argument. Mm-hmm. The thing with this trailer is that it looks more like a He-Man Skeletor thing, but then again, so did the first trailer, and there is quite a bit of Teela in it as well, but I still think it looked very good.
Yeah. Fucking
I'm
savage.
hopeful. Savage He-Man. I really hope people are wrong about the first part, and if you were to see it as a collective, it would all flow into this big epic series. But obviously you can't have that little niggle in the back of my head, which is like they're just showing you bits from like the first episode, and it's going to be like, I've got no problem with Teela either. I just want more He-Man and Skeletor. But there's no way, you can't get that now because Skeletor's Skelegod, so he has to be basically every episode.
Yeah.
And they can't do too much of like the past stuff anyway, so it has to really kick on. So I'm excited. I love the first trailer though because of the soundtrack to it.
Huge.
I Need a Hero. So so that's out soon. So I guess by the time we record our next one of these, we would have seen it,
watched it. Yeah, it's like a week or so.
Like a week away. Also, now I've got loads of things to talk about, but we'll have to wrap it up. Invincible. Do you see it was? It's got 20 episodes for season 2.
No, Jesus.
Yeah, 20.
Is it? Are they going to do like part 1, part 2, or is it just all?
Don't know. They just said it was going to be 20 episodes.
Gosh, fuck! I love that show. That was good.
I love that show so much. It's so good.
I love with He-Man that it looks like there's just going to be like massive battle.
Yeah, but that's it though, isn't it? It looks like it. Trailers are so deceiving. Like Morbius could be the best fucking thing in the world. The trailer is quite deceiving.
But I think with He-Man, I think it's going to be more obvious than you think, and I think it's literally going to be like, that's what it builds to. I think
someone said that they've announced the episode titles. I haven't seen it. I know that's not much to work on, but it's usually a good indication of if it's like, the Battle of Helm's Deep. Yeah. Then you're going to get a Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I could have said Grayskull there, but I didn't. I said Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Also, there was I just had something else I was going to talk to you about. I can't remember now. It's gone. I know. Bummer.
But yeah, very excited for He-Man. I am, because I love the first part, so I'm stoked to see the second part because I think it's going to be fucking insane. It's going to make me want like a Savage He-Man toy.
They already have, yeah.
Yeah, I saw they announced it.
Yeah,
it's going to make me want it.
We got all those figures in the comic shop. We got the He-Man and Skeletor, and I promise you now, within a couple of weeks, they will be on my figure shelf behind me.
Yeah,
I would get all of them, but there's just they did like Moss Man and
cool. They did Battle Cat.
Man, Battle Cat is bloody massive. We got that in as well. It's just huge. But yeah, so
I really want an Orko figure though. They haven't done one yet, and I want Orko.
There is that's what comes with the That's what comes with Savage E-Man.
Is it?
Yeah.
They've got them wrong.
Yeah, it comes it's a double pack.
Shit.
So
That was me being like, I won't need to buy it. And now it's like comes with all.
They'll do it separately as well, probably, but it's like it looks like Savage He-Man and like I don't know, battle damaged Orko.
Cool.
Don't know.
I like it.
We got the vintage Orcos in at work, actually. Not vintage, but they've redone them old school ones.
Nice.
So
Love
yeah.
it.
Anyway, I guess we'll leave it there for this episode with stuff. And obviously the next time we do one of these, obviously we'll have all of that to talk about. Not all of it, because none of it will be out other than I think both of us we might have both seen Venom by then, and
Eternals
and Eternals, and
I don't
He-Man.
plan on seeing Venom. I don't think.
Okay, well, I will tell you my thoughts on Venom.
Please do, because I think it looks
all right. So that wraps up this episode of Consistently OK Podcast. You can find us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at Consistently Pod, and on YouTube by simply searching for the Consistently OK Podcast. We stream on all podcast services, with each episode coming out on Wednesdays. If you're an Apple Podcast subscriber, you can get some extra content. All right, dude. Wow, always a pleasure.
Always a good time, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Our next episode is going to be our in-depth one, and we're talking about Dark Knight, and we're joined by Mr. Harry Hughes. So look forward to that. It'll be out likely in 2 weeks' time.
Fine. Yeah.
All right. Cheers then, dude. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.